We are not going to allow this pathogen that's been around the country of ignoring the law. We are not going to let that get a foothold here in the state of Florida. We are going to make sure that our laws are enforced and that no individual prosecutor puts himself above the law.
That is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspending State Attorney Andrew Warren after the attorney had said he would refuse to enforce Florida's 15-week abortion ban. Joining us now, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Welcome, sir, to National Report. Thank you for coming on. All right, so that news broke yesterday. There has been an update. Andrew Warren reacted to the suspension, and I'll show our viewers here. He wrote, "Today's political stunt is an illegal overreach that continues a dangerous pattern by Ron DeSantis of using his office to further his own political ambition. It spits in the face of the voters of Hillsborough County who have twice elected me to serve them, not Ron DeSantis." Warren reportedly planning to appeal the suspension. But Mr. Mayor, let me ask you, what do you make of the move by DeSantis to suspend him in the first place?
Well, I think it's the right decision. I mean, he refuses to enforce certain categories of laws. The minute a district attorney, or in his case, a state's attorney, does that, he's subject to removal for violating the general oath that he takes to enforce the laws. Remember, when all these people are sworn in, they raise their right hand. I probably swore in 1,000 prosecutors. And they swear to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state in which they are working. Well, he refuses to enforce any criminal laws that stem from abortion. Let's say an 8-month abortion. Or how about a law that doesn't allow you to kill a delivered baby that might be delivered because the abortion didn't work at 7 or 8 months? He refuses to enforce certain environmental laws. And he, according to the Hillsborough sheriff, I think his name is Chad Chronister, he lets all kinds of criminals go free, 50 to 60% more than his predecessor. So the man's a menace.
Yeah.
And the governor isn't, in New York, it's even stronger. In New York, I don't know the Florida Constitution. It may be as strong, but in New York, the Constitution says that the governor should remove a district attorney who doesn't enforce the law. It sort of gives him an obligation to do it. So Hochul's failure to act is pathetic in New York. And I don't know this guy's record. I know Bragg's is responsible for a good deal of the 40% increase in crime we have since he's been in office.
Well, let me ask you about it, sir, if you don't mind. Let me ask you about the crime that we have seen, because we've got new data from the National Fraternal Order of Police. They compiled this. This year so far, 210 officers shot this year's 39 killed by gunfire. The number of officers shot in the line of duty up 14% from this same time in 2021. Tell me about this data, keeping in mind these are men and women behind the numbers who are victims.
The data is very, very frightening, because those are the people we have to count on to protect us. And if they are being driven back, sure, the heroes will still stand up and move forward, and many of them will, because these people are remarkable people. But then, you know, those who are more average are going to be somewhat afraid to take action. Look, both of these DAs, Bragg in New York and Warren in Hillsborough, are put there in a way that, if it isn't illegal, it certainly seems close to it. Millions of dollars contributed by George Soros. George Soros has put at least $40 million in to ruin criminal justice in America and to make America a crime-ridden country. Now, last year, you know, when you said that the number of police shootings went up this year over last year they went up over the year before.
Yeah.
Last year, in many places, was a record year for murder. 17 cities set a record last year for the most murders in their history. And it wasn't New York. It was Rochester, New York, for example, or St. Louis, Missouri. All Democrat-run and almost all with a Soros-purchased multi-million-dollar prosecutor.
Sure.
Who in most cases doesn't have any background as a prosecutor, but has been somebody who's been getting criminals out of jail all his life. And he continues to do it as a prosecutor. So the people have no one representing them. The public defender represents the criminal, and the prosecutor represents the criminal. Nobody represents the poor woman or man who's been beaten over the head.
We saw action take place in Florida by the governor there, Ron DeSantis. We'll wait and see if anything happens in New York. That is former New York City Mayor
corrupt
Rudy
Democrat
Giuliani.
New York.
All right.
I wouldn't want to take a bet on corrupt Democrat New York taking a action.
All right.
I mean,
there is a governor's race coming up. Unfortunately, out of time. We'll be watching it. Giuliani, Mr. Mayor.
We'll see what kickback Kathy does. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number. 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309 or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532. Thank you.